It is March 15th, 2025, and I have finished up to season 5, episode 4 of Shameless. And I am 90% sure I got to the part of the show that why everybody hates Debbie. So Debbie did something admittedly very bad. She was dealing with this fucking 20-year-old old ass man, Maddie, who delivers pizzas in the neighborhood. And before we get into what Debbie did, let us get out of the way. Maddie was grooming her. Like, we can't not debate that. Like, he was grooming the shit out of this 13-year-old girl. It was so uncomfortable. He'd be like, oh yeah, you 13-year-old girl, we're friends. You can come to my house and cook for me. And the only reason why I can't date you and have sex with you is because you're too young. Then why are you associating with her? She's a 13-year-old girl. But that aside, she invites him to her house party, and then he shows up to the house party and gets drunk at the house party. And then she lets him sleep in her bed, and then there's a condom on her nightstand. And then she's like, oh, Maddie's like aroused around me. And because Debbie has no sex education, she just went, okay. And they did what they were going to do, except that Maddie was not aware of it. Maddie was drunk. He couldn't consent. So, like, it's really bad. It's really bad. And then the only people who really acknowledge, like, the discomfort and the gray area of this are Maddie himself and the girls that are bullying Debbie. And none of them really have Debbie's best interest at heart. When it comes out to, like, her siblings that, like, you know, she did this, everyone's just like, oh, but like that doesn't happen to guys. And I'm like, oh god, the lack of sex ed in the south side of Chicago in this particular universe is really, really bad, y'all. So I understand how Debbie got there, considering that she has no sex ed. It's a very like Daphne and Simon from Bridgerton coded moment, except this is much worse because she's a 13-year-old girl. And even her perpetuating that crime onto Maddie is still a crime upon her own body because she's 13 years old. Like, it's so bad. Like, this is such a gray area, and I get why everybody doesn't like her now. I would like to think that in the next, like, 7 seasons, she will be better after this. But hopefully a sex ed class is in her future because she was like, oh, I'm going to get on birth control if this is like going to be a thing that I'm going to be doing from now on. But then she's like, no, I'm not going to do birth control. It's like bad for you. So like maybe she'll be better now. Cool. Ian and Mickey were going through some stuff, and they are continuing to go through some stuff. Mickey is still married to Svetlana, like that the Russian hand lady, and he's had her baby. He's had the baby. Like he has no interest in the baby at all. Ian is actually helping more with the baby and Svetlana than Mickey ever has. But Ian's like, hey, like I actually have no interest in being a mistress. Like it took a lot for me to come out, and I'm getting shoved back into the closet with you. Like I like you, but I want to live loudly, and this sucks. So at the moment where Ian's like ready to walk out, Mickey stands in front of the whole bar, the alibi, and he's just like, hey, this is at his dad's like release from prison party. So this is even more brave on Mickey's part. He's just like, hey, I would just like everybody to know that I'm fucking gay. And I actually am a bottom as well. And that is actually the thing that makes his dad the angriest. And it ends up in this whole ass bar fight where the dad goes back to jail. And then the cop lets Mickey go because he's also, like, a married gay man. So, like, good shit. We love that. But Mickey and Ian are now living together openly with Svetlana. And Svetlana apparently likes women. So, like, she's being chill. Like, her problem was that Mickey wasn't helping with the baby. And Mickey wasn't, like, stepping up for her in the way that she needed. Like, she didn't really want him as a husband either. So they're actually settling into this very cute life together, but the specter of Ian's mental illness is hovering over this whole thing. Like he was doing really bad at one point, like towards like the season 4 finale, he was doing really bad. Like he couldn't get out of bed. It was very Monica coded. And then Mickey's freaking out. He calls the siblings, then they call in Fiona, and Fiona's like, he's like bipolar. Like we're going to need to take him to the clinic. We need to get him medication, all this stuff. And Mickey's like, you're not hospitalizing him. Like, fuck that. But then, like, towards, like, these 4 episodes of season 5, Ian's starting to get back up to, like, that manic phase again, where he was at like the middle of season 4, where he was like, doing all sorts of drugs and like all like different things, and he was just like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this and we're gonna, and everyone's like, wow, like he's so dynamic and whatever. And Mickey's like, yeah, like something's not right here. And Mickey was doing this thing with like these suitcases at the airport, and then Ian was just like, okay. And then he got all of the suitcases at the airport that didn't belong to them, and Mickey came home to like their house just piled up with other people's shit. And Mickey's just, and as of season 5 episode 4, Mickey's like, oh shit, I'm in over my head. And other people are doing other things. And like Lip is in college. He's still dating that girl, fine. Carl is being Carl. Frank is being Frank. All of that is fine. I don't give a shit about any of that though, because this is my new OTP. I would die for them. Nobody told me that Steve fucking KAZEE is in this show. Steve KAZEE was in Once. He was the original guy on the Broadway run of Once, which is one of my favorite musicals of all time. Like, I love this musical. I could go on and on about this musical, but really it's about like this Irish guy and this Eastern European girl, and they fall in love, but he's got a girlfriend back home and she's married with a kid, and they like, it's very right place, wrong time. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful show. The music is gorgeous. I cannot express to you how much I love this musical. So when Fiona at her waitressing job, they looked like they were going to set her up with the boss of the diner, who is played by Dermot Mulroney. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I think his name is Sean. It looked like she was going to get with Sean, which would have been another like Fiona fucking her boss thing. She didn't need that. But then there's this guy who's in a band, who's like this Irish guy. And then he's like, hey, come to this show. And then Fiona's like, she wants to go out because she's got her ankle bracelet off, like, fuck it. So she goes to the show, and turns out that guy's got a girlfriend. And then in order to cover his tracks, he's like, hey, Fiona is Gus's friend. And then I look over, and it's Steve fucking KAZEE. And it turns out that my sexual orientation is Steve KAZEE and Emmy Rossum falling in love. Like, specifically these two. And if these two do not sing on camera together, I'm going to be a mess. If these two do sing on camera together, I'm going to be a mess. And if they don't, I'm going to be disappointed and also a mess. Because Emmy Rossum's an incredible singer too. And you don't get Steve fucking KAZEE on your show and Emmy Rossum on your show and not have them sing together. They must sing together. I need this. That being said, though, I'm a little worried about this because they did definitely get married on a lark between Fiona's shifts, and I don't understand why they did that, because like they're in love, but they've only been in love for like 2 weeks. Why are they married? But I want this, like, against my better judgment, I want this to work out so badly because it's Steve KAZEE. Like, come on, it's Steve KAZEE. Like, look at them. They're beautiful together. Jimmy who? Anyway, that's where I'm at. That's where Debbie's at. That's where everybody's at. The theme of the last like 8 or so episodes is long live Steve KAZEE. I hope he's here forever.